Welcome in. This is the Big Three. I'm Heather Harrington along with Will West. Will, we just had the NFL draft, and kudos to you guys for the amazing draft coverage and to Twin Peaks for jumping on that. Appreciate ya. What did you think? Biggest winners, losers of the draft?
I loved your Cowboys draft. I thought it was fantastic. Overall,
Really?
yeah, I'll just say as far
I'm
as
not sold on this dude, especially with Calvin Ridley right there.
Leighton Vander Esch is a beast, right? He's Sean Lee without the injuries. So that's
But
the
they
biggest
say
thing
he
that I
has
like
an
about
injury.
him. He did deal with an injury last year, but he doesn't have the Sean Lee problem of I'm 20 pounds light and my entire body's been broken before I got here. To me, he fits perfectly in with what the Cowboys are doing. And then you've got a starting guard who can also move to tackle in the second round
Yeah,
as well. So
that
I
was
love
big.
that pickup. Overall, I'll say Quentin Nelson going to the Colts. You got two starting linemen. The Colts did, and that's the biggest thing that they need. So for me, they're the biggest winner of this draft, the Colts. With the Raiders, if Arden Key, he was a top 10, projected top 10 pick, and he has behavioral issues at LSU. All of a sudden, he slides down draft
Who
boards.
doesn't have
play.
behavioral issues at LSU?
Purple drink's a heck of a drug. And then they also get the defensive tackle out of Michigan that had the heart issue.
Yeah.
And he's been cleared by some teams. So if he's cleared to play, he's going to end up being a starter as well. And he was a top 15 pick projected. So I look at this and just say the Raiders could have the best draft right now. I'll take the Colts, but the Cowboys right behind them.
How did Cleveland do? I mean, now, especially with the reports coming out, a lot of people wanted Baker Mayfield. I totally missed all that.
Can he play? I mean, can he play at 6 foot tall? That's going to be the question. And
Yeah.
also, how to run an RPOs all day translate to what the NFL wants to do. What's his attitude like when he gets to the NFL? And when you give him money, what's he going to be like when he acted like that when he didn't have money? Now, everybody grows up at a different time.
Yeah.
My big concern for, though, is if Baker Mayfield's not a borderline Hall of Famer, you wasted this pick because there are other guys in this draft that might be borderline Hall of Famers.
Yeah, there's some really good dudes out there. I thought Baltimore also, shout out to them with the picks that they had. They had a very nice draft. And the Washington Redskins, I hate to give them any credit, but I thought Washington had a nice draft, especially with what's going on in Philadelphia, with them just winning the Super Bowl and Dallas doing what they did. I thought it was really strong for Washington.
Dallas and the Giants are going to be playoff contenders, both
Yeah,
maybe even
and-
both in the
yeah,
playoffs.
and your Giants.
And we could have three teams from the NFC East back in the playoffs again this year.
All right. Yeah, take that, AFC North. All right. It was a little bit of a lackluster draft, Will, because for Tennessee fans, Vol fans, because you had a guy, Rashawn Golden. He went third round. You can't really get too excited about that. Only 3 players drafted, although 13 players will go to some form of an NFL camp. What do you think? When would you handicap Tennessee having another first-round draft pick like Derek Barnett last year?
I put the over-under at 2.5 years. And the reason why I do that is Trey Smith. Is he healthy? Is he cleared?
Yeah.
I don't think that's... People are presuming that's going to be the case, and I think that
I'm
maybe
not.
that's
I'm actually
thinking
on
too
the
quickly.
absolute other side of
Yeah.
that fence. Like, I'll believe he's there when I see it.
I think at best it's 50-50. If Trey Smith goes, Trey Smith's a first-round draft pick. I mean, that's just as long as he doesn't
Yeah.
deal with any other injury, he's a first-round talent. So I think he would go in 2 years. After that, I'll roll the dice that there's somebody 3 years from now that goes, but I don't know who that person would be. That's
Yeah.
a first-round draft pick anyway.
Yeah, especially when you put it, there will be draft picks on
Not
this
Warriors
team.
a possible. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
play
but
in the
man,
NFL.
first round, it's going to take some recruiting. I'm going to predict, because I'm not counting that Trey Smith chicken yet, because that egg is far from hatched. I'm going to say it'll be a Jeremy Pruitt recruit and not a Butch Jones recruit that gets the back to the first round.
That's probably likely.
All right, and then you got the Preds blowing a huge lead. Now they're down 2-1 to the Winnipeg Jets. Is this series over for the Preds?
I don't know that it's over because you can always come back. If you win game 4, none of it matters, right? And it's right back
Yep,
to you
you're
having
right back
home
to
ice
2-2.
advantage. But teams that choke away 3-0 leads like that don't usually end up being teams that win Stanley Cups. And so my concern is whether it's today or it's tomorrow, the Preds are done in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I don't believe a team that's played this poorly in the defense given Pekka Rinne nothing to work with in front of him.
Yeah.
I don't believe a team that's playing like this can win the Stanley Cup or even make the Stanley Cup Finals. And so if it's not Winnipeg, it's going to be Las Vegas. Right now, I'll take Winnipeg to win this thing in 6.
Yeah, it's crazy how it's all shaping up. But when you have like 4 dudes around the goal, of course you can't stop 4 shots on goal.
Yeah.
I mean, Pekka Rinne was stopping 3 out of 4, but dang, I mean, they just kept laying
what do
them
you
on
do?
him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you calling it? You thinking it's going to be Jets in 6?
It'll be over. Jets in 6 right now is what I'll take. But look, could they start playing better? Yes, they could. Let's remember though, down the stretch in the regular season, they were playing like this as well. They were playing poorly. Colorado stretched them farther than that needed to go. One way or the other, the team playing like this can't win the Stanley Cup or make a Stanley Cup final. So I'll say the Jets get it done, but if it's not the Jets, it'll be the Golden Knights.
All right, I think Mr. Sunshine has been taken by Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank, so this is Mr. Partly Cloudy right here. Yeah. That's going to wrap it up for us on the Big Three. We'll be back next week tackling more of your sports topics.